There are moments in life when we are tempted to share every detail, to expose the deepest parts of our journey to others, believing that doing so will bring us support, understanding, or validation. But there is wisdom in silence, in protecting the inner workings of your life from the scrutiny of others. The truth is, not everyone is equipped to handle the complexities of your story. Not everyone will understand the nuances of your struggles, your dreams, or your aspirations. And that's okay. Not everyone needs to know what's going on inside of you. When you share your life with others, you open the door for their opinions, their judgments, and their projections to enter. People will interpret your journey based on their own experiences, their own biases, and their own limitations. In doing so, they may misread your intentions, misunderstand your purpose, and offer advice that is not in alignment with your path. Your life is sacred. It is precious. It is a unique and personal journey that requires discernment about who you allow to see it. There is a power in discretion. There is strength in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Sometimes your journey needs to unfold in silence so that you can grow, evolve, and discover your own truths without the noise of others' opinions. When you speak too freely, when you tell too much, you risk giving away your energy, your focus, and even your sense of direction. People will try to redirect you to shape you into something you are not, because they cannot see the full picture of your potential. They can only see through the lens of their own understanding. The purpose of your life is not to satisfy the curiosity of others. Your purpose is to live with clarity, to walk in your calling, to fulfill the potential that is placed inside of you. When you live authentically, when you embrace your journey with confidence, you attract the right people into your life, those who will encourage you, those who will support you, and those who will challenge you in ways that propel you forward. But this can only happen when you've learned to protect the sacredness of your process. Your life is a masterpiece in progress. You are not a finished work, you are a work in progress. And that's the beauty of it. Just like a sculptor chisels away at a block of stone, your life is being shaped in ways that may not always make sense to others. Sometimes the most beautiful parts of your story are the ones that remain hidden until the right moment. Sometimes the most significant moments of growth occur in solitude, in the quiet spaces where you are allowed to make mistakes, correct course, and rise again without the constant gaze of others. Learn to guard your inner world, for it is the birthplace of your future. Your thoughts, your ideas, your plans, they are yours to nurture and protect. Don't allow them to be dissected or diluted by the opinions of others. The more you reveal, the more vulnerable you become to criticism, and not all criticism is constructive. Not all feedback is useful. In fact, much of it will be rooted in fear, insecurity, or misunderstanding. And if you let that kind of noise enter your spirit, it can distract you from your true purpose. There is wisdom in waiting. There is power in timing. There are moments when you must speak, and there are moments when silence is your greatest ally. The value of a thing is often determined by how much it is cherished. Your life is valuable, your purpose is precious, and you must treat it as such. You don't have to explain your every move. You don't have to broadcast your process. Simply continue to walk the path that is meant for you, and trust that in due time, the right people will recognize the fruits of your labor. Not every chapter of your life needs to be shared, and not every person is entitled to witness the unfolding of your journey. Protect your vision, your peace, and your progress. Let your life speak for itself, and let those who are meant to walk with you join you in the journey when the time is right. Your life is a testament to what happens when you trust the process and keep your focus on what truly matters. There are times when you might feel an overwhelming urge to let others in, to share the burdens that weigh heavily on your heart, or to seek validation for your dreams and aspirations. It's natural to want to be understood, to have someone acknowledge your struggles, and to find comfort in the company of those who seem to share your experience. But there is a certain wisdom in holding back, in resisting the urge to expose every detail of your life to the world. Life is not a public spectacle, and the more you expose yourself, the more vulnerable you become to forces that may not have your best interest at heart. There's a lesson to be learned in the art of discretion, in learning when to speak and when to remain silent. When you're in the midst of a journey, it can be tempting to share every step, every decision, every change, hoping that others will validate your choices, that they will give you the assurance that you are on the right path. But the more you share, the more you risk attracting the opinions of others who may not see things as you do. They may not understand the complexity of your choices or the depth of your reasoning. People often speak from their own level of understanding, and when they offer advice or opinions, they do so from the filter of their own experiences, which may not align with yours. When you share too much, you invite interpretations that may derail your focus, your purpose, and your resolve. The reality is that not everyone is capable of holding space for your vision, your hopes, or your struggles. Not everyone will appreciate the intricacies of your journey. Not everyone will see your potential or understand the sacrifices you've made to get where you are. And that's okay. The truth is, not everyone needs to know. In fact, there is great power in keeping certain things private, in preserving the sanctity of your vision and your dreams. Not everything needs to be explained, and not everyone is worthy of the details. There is strength in guarding the sacredness of your inner world, and there is wisdom in knowing when to reveal and when to withhold. Think about the things that are most precious to you, your thoughts, your dreams, your plans. These things are yours. They were given to you. And they were given to you because you have the capacity to bring them into existence. They are not for public consumption, not for casual critique, and not for everyone's approval. They are yours to nurture, protect, and bring into being. When you share them too freely, you risk giving away your power. People will offer their unsolicited opinions, their judgments, their fears. And if you are not careful, these voices can drown out your own. There are people who will see your vision and tell you that it's impossible. They will tell you that you are aiming too high, that your dreams are too big, that you are being unrealistic. And in doing so, they will try to hold you back from achieving your true potential. If you are too quick to reveal your plans to everyone who asks, you will encounter those who do not believe in you, who do not have the faith to see your vision as clearly as you do. They will not recognize the significance of your journey, and their doubt will cloud your own confidence. The beauty of having a dream, of embarking on a journey, is that it is unique to you. It is a reflection of who you are, where you've been, and where you are going. But not everyone will see the depth of your experience or understand the sacrifices that have led you to this point. People will project their own fears, their own limitations onto you, and if you are not careful, you may begin to question yourself. That is why it is crucial to protect your inner world, to keep your thoughts and dreams close to your heart until the right time comes to share them. There are seasons in your life when you must move quietly, when your focus must be razor sharp, and when you must allow your actions to speak louder than your words. The world does not need to know everything about you, especially when you are in the process of becoming. Growth requires time, patience, and space. You cannot rush it, and you cannot let others' opinions dictate your pace. If you expose every stage of your journey to the scrutiny of others, you risk allowing their voices to shape your path, sometimes in ways that do not serve your best interests. The opinions of others are often rooted in their own experiences, and they may not have the wisdom or the perspective to guide you in the right direction. Your journey is sacred. The process of becoming who you are meant to be is a deeply personal experience that should not be shared with everyone. There are parts of your life, parts of your vision that need to remain hidden until the time is right. Your growth is not meant to be a public spectacle, and your struggles are not for others to dissect or analyze. The moment you reveal your struggles to the wrong person, you open yourself to criticism, to judgment, and to the possibility of discouragement. People may tell you to quit, to give up, or to settle for less than what you truly deserve. And if you are not rooted in your purpose, you may start to believe them. There is a strength that comes from working in silence, from keeping your plans close to your heart until they are ready to be revealed to the world. When you work quietly, when you protect the sacredness of your process, you give yourself the freedom to grow without the pressure of others' expectations. You are not bound by their limited perspectives or confined by their doubts. You are free to move in the direction that feels right to you, to take the steps that are aligned with your purpose, even when no one else understands. Some of the most successful people in history have been the ones who worked quietly, who kept their vision to themselves until it was fully realized. They understood that the journey was not about seeking validation from others. It was about staying true to their vision, staying focused on their goals, and trusting the process. They knew that every step they took was building towards something greater, something that only they could see in its entirety. And they had the wisdom to keep their journey private, to protect their dreams from the distractions and doubts that might have derailed them. It is in the quiet moments, the moments when no one is watching, that we truly discover who we are and what we are capable of. When you are not concerned with the opinions of others, when you are not seeking approval or affirmation, you create the space necessary for real growth. You become more attuned to your inner voice, to your intuition, and to the guidance that comes from within. This is where true strength lies inside of you, not in the applause of the crowd or the opinions of others. When you stop seeking validation from the outside world, you open yourself up to the deep internal validation that comes from knowing that you are doing the right thing at the right time, in the right way. There is also a spiritual component to this. Our lives are guided by forces greater than ourselves. There is a divine order to everything, a perfect timing that is beyond our understanding. When we share too much of our lives too soon, we often interrupt that divine flow. We interfere with the timing of our journey by seeking outside influence too early, by allowing others to impose their timing and their expectations onto us. There are moments when we are meant to be still, when we are meant to wait, and when we are meant to act in silence. The universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, has its own way of revealing things to you at just the right moment. But if you are too eager to share your every move, you may disrupt the delicate balance of timing that is required for your vision to manifest. Your life is a precious gift, and you must protect it. You must protect your peace, your focus, your vision, and your energy. Not everyone deserves access to the inner sanctum of your life, to the heart of your journey. There are people who will try to steal your joy, to diminish your dreams, and to redirect your path. They do this not out of malice, but out of their own fear and insecurity. They cannot see what you see, and they cannot understand the depth of your potential. It is your responsibility to protect what is most valuable to you and to surround yourself with people who will uplift you, encourage you, and help you move forward in your purpose. The more you share with others, the more you risk losing the energy that is necessary for you to create and grow. Your thoughts and dreams are not a currency to be exchanged for validation. They are the building blocks of your future. Every time you share them with the wrong person, you may be giving away a piece of the energy needed to bring them into reality. Keep your focus. Keep your vision. Trust the process. And understand that there will be a time when you can share your story with the world. But that time will come when your story is fully written, when your vision is clear, and when your purpose is undeniable. Until then, guard your peace, Protect your dreams and keep moving forward in silence. The world will see the fruits of your labor in due time. Your life is unfolding in real time, and there is a sacredness to it that demands respect. It's a journey that only you are meant to fully understand. A journey that requires you to nurture it, shape it, and grow it with the utmost care. When you reveal too much to too many, you risk giving away pieces of your heart, pieces of your vision, to people who are not equipped to hold them. People often cannot handle the fullness of your vision. They cannot comprehend the magnitude of your dream, because it's not meant to be understood by everyone. Not everyone can bear witness to your process. Not everyone will see it for what it is, a living, breathing manifestation of what is meant to come into being through you. And so it's important to learn how to guard that process, to keep it safe from the prying eyes and questioning minds of those who do not understand. There's an intrinsic power in protecting your journey, in taking the time to cultivate what is growing inside of you before exposing it to the world. Just as a plant needs time to sprout, grow roots, and blossom before it can be shared, so too does your vision need time and space to take root in your soul. When you share too much too soon, you risk exposing that vision to a world that may not yet be prepared to honor it, to respect it, or to nurture it as you do. And once your dream has been put out into the world, it's no longer entirely under your control. People will comment on it, criticize it, offer suggestions, and in some cases try to pull it down from its place of purity to fit into their own understanding. This is why in certain seasons of your life, silence is not just a virtue, but a form of protection. Silence is not about hiding or being afraid to speak. It's about knowing that there is a time and a place for everything. It's about understanding that there are things that are sacred, that need to be kept in the silence of your heart until the right moment arrives. In those quiet moments, you allow yourself to hear the inner guidance that will direct you toward your purpose with more clarity than any external noise ever could. When you're constantly seeking external validation, you dilute the purity of the inspiration that has been placed within you. You must trust that the universe, or whatever higher force you believe in, has a plan for you. The timing of your journey is not for anyone else to dictate. Your calling is not contingent upon someone else's approval. The path you walk is yours and yours alone. There are too many people who, because they lack a clear vision of their own, are quick to give advice on matters they don't truly understand. They will project their fears, their limitations, and their doubts onto your journey, and in doing so, they may cause you to doubt yourself. They will tell you what they would do in your situation, but their perspective is often based on their own experiences, not yours. Their advice may be rooted in their own insecurities or missed opportunities, not in the truth of who you are or the vision that has been given to you. And if you listen too closely to those voices, you risk straying from your own path, or worse, abandoning it altogether. This is why it is crucial to cultivate a relationship with your inner self. When you develop a deep connection with your purpose and your vision, you will know when to speak and when to be silent. You will know when to share your ideas and when to keep them hidden. And most importantly, you will have the confidence to trust your own judgment, even when others try to steer you in a different direction. There are moments in life when silence becomes your greatest ally. It is in silence that you find the space to hear your own voice above the din of the world. It is in silence that you can take the time to reflect, to reconsider, and to realign yourself with your true purpose. Too many people live their lives seeking the approval of others, measuring their worth by the responses they receive from the people around them. But that kind of validation is fleeting. It is dependent on the ever-changing opinions of others. It is based on what others think, feel, and believe, not on the truth of who you are. The only validation that truly matters is the one that comes from within. When you know who you are, when you are secure in your identity, you no longer need to explain yourself to anyone. You no longer need to justify your choices, your decisions, or your journey. You simply walk in the truth of who you are, and the world will either align with that truth or fall away from it. The more you share your life with others, the more you risk being misinterpreted. People have their own agendas, their own perceptions, and their own perceptions, and their own fears that will color their view of you. When you share too much, you invite the potential for misunderstanding. People will see things through the lens of their own experiences, and often those experiences are not aligned with yours. They will give advice based on what they think is best for you, without considering your unique path, your specific gifts, or your divine purpose. Their advice may be well-meaning, but it will not always be helpful. The truth is that no one knows your heart like you do. No one knows the depth of your vision, the intricacies of your journey, or the courage it takes to keep moving forward when it feels like the world is pushing back against you. In this age of social media and constant connectivity, we are more exposed than ever. People feel compelled to share every detail of their lives, from the smallest victories to the deepest struggles. While sharing can create connections and foster a sense of community, it can also invite criticism, judgment, and unsolicited advice. The more you put out into the world, the more vulnerable you become to the opinions and perspectives of others. Not everyone will see you for who you truly are. Not everyone will understand the full scope of what you are trying to accomplish. And if you are not careful, you may begin to measure your progress by the reactions of others, losing sight of your true purpose in the process. There's a peace that comes from knowing when to hold back, when to protect what is most precious to you, and when to let your actions speak louder than your words. You don't need to explain every decision. You don't need to seek approval at every turn. Trust in the process. Trust that the right people will be drawn to you at the right time. Trust that the right opportunities will come to you when you are ready, not when you are seeking them out through external validation. There's a certain power in walking in silence, moving with intention, and allowing the unfolding of your life to happen without the constant need for affirmation. When you protect your vision, when you safeguard your dreams, you create the space for them to grow without interference. You give them the time and the energy they need to come to fruition. Just as an artist needs solitude to create, so too do you need time and space to cultivate your vision, to nurture it, and to bring it into reality. When you constantly seek approval or validation from others, you dilute that creative process. You allow other people's opinions to shape your vision instead of allowing your vision to shape your reality. The world doesn't need to see everything you're doing. The world doesn't need to know every detail of your journey. It is enough that you know where you are headed. It is enough that you have faith in the process. It is enough that you trust in your own ability to navigate the path that has been laid before you. The world will see the results in due time. But in the meantime, your focus must remain on your purpose, your vision, and the inner work that is necessary to bring it to life. If you continually share every step, you risk becoming distracted by the opinions of others, by their doubts, their criticisms, and their expectations. And the truth is, you don't owe anyone an explanation for your journey. The only explanation that matters is the one you give to yourself. Your life is a gift, a divine opportunity to create something meaningful, something powerful. Guard that gift. Protect your peace. Cultivate your vision in silence and let it flourish in its own time. The world will recognize its value when the time is right, and until then, you are free to move forward in faith, knowing that your journey is unfolding just as it was meant to. There is an ancient wisdom in learning to navigate life with a sense of quiet strength, of moving forward without the constant need to explain yourself to the world around you. In our modern world, it's easy to fall into the trap of oversharing, of feeling compelled to seek constant validation from others for every decision we make, every step we take. The social media age, in particular, has amplified this impulse. It's as though we're expected to broadcast our lives in real time, sharing our victories, our struggles, our ideas, and our dreams with a vast audience. But what if the most powerful way to live is not in the spotlight, but in the quietude of your own heart? What if the most effective way to walk in your purpose is to do so without the constant noise of the world clamoring for your attention? When you share too much, you expose yourself in ways that can be harmful. The truth is, not everyone is ready for the full version of your story. Not everyone will understand your vision, your pain, your journey, or the sacrifices you have made. And that's okay. There is strength in keeping parts of yourself sacred and hidden until the time is right for them to be shared. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you are doing what you are doing, or for the decisions you are making along the way. Your life, your choices, your growth, and your process belong to you. They are not meant for public consumption, nor for judgment or analysis by people who may not even fully understand your purpose. There is an inherent power in knowing what to keep private, in knowing when to be silent and when to speak. Silence does not mean weakness, it means wisdom. Silence allows you to listen more deeply to yourself, to your inner voice, to the divine guidance that leads you. It allows you to focus on what truly matters, rather than being distracted by the opinions and judgments of others. We often think that we need to share everything with others in order to gain support, to feel understood, or to seek approval. But the reality is that in most cases, the only approval you need is your own. The only validation that truly matters is the one that comes from deep within. The kind that comes when, without a doubt, that you are walking the path that was meant for you. This sense of inner knowing is more powerful than any external affirmation. It comes from a place of trust in your own intuition, trust in your own journey, and trust in the divine timing of your life. There is a power in moving in silence. Think about the great innovators, the visionaries, the leaders who have shaped the course of history. How many of them spent their time broadcasting every move they made? How many of them sought validation from others before they took action? Very few. Most of the greatest accomplishments in history were forged in quiet spaces, away from the public eye, in moments of solitude and reflection. These great figures understood that their work spoke for itself. Their vision was so clear, so deeply rooted in their purpose, that they didn't need the constant input of others to move forward. They kept their focus on their own journey and allowed their actions to be the proof of their worth. When you share too much, you expose yourself to the risk of being misunderstood. People will interpret your actions and decisions through their own lenses, their own experiences, and often their own limitations. They will tell you what they think you should do, what they think you're doing wrong, or what they think you could be doing better. But the truth is, only you truly know the full scope of your purpose. Only you know the deeper reasons behind the decisions you are making. And if you are not careful, you may allow the voices of others to overshadow your own. The more you reveal, the more you open yourself up to influence that may not be aligned with your own inner truth. Think about the people in your life who have a deep connection with their own vision. Those who have the clarity and the strength to move in their purpose without constantly seeking outside validation are often the most centered, the most at peace. They understand that their journey is their own and that not everyone needs to understand it. They are not trying to please others, and they are not trying to conform to someone else's expectations. They have learned the art of living in alignment with their own purpose, regardless of what others think. This inner peace comes from knowing that the only person who truly needs to believe in your journey is you. It comes from the deep assurance that your path is divinely ordained, that you are walking in the direction you were always meant to go, and that every step you take brings you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. In life, there are times when you need to pull back from the noise, times when you need to retreat into silence to allow your thoughts and your vision to crystallize. It is in these quiet moments that you make some of your most important decisions. It is in solitude that you connect with your deepest thoughts, your most authentic desires, and the wisdom that comes from within. When you are constantly surrounded by the noise and distractions of others, it becomes harder to hear your own voice. It becomes more difficult to discern the path that is meant for you when you are flooded with the opinions and expectations of those around you. And so it is necessary to retreat from the world at times, to spend time in solitude, to work on your vision in private, and to allow your journey to unfold without interference. The danger of oversharing is that you may begin to doubt yourself when others offer their opinions. Everyone has their own perspective, and while their input can sometimes be valuable, it can also create confusion if you are not rooted in your own truth. You may hear something from someone that causes you to question your direction, your decisions, or your own intuition. But when you are secure in your vision, when you spend time refining your goals in silence, you are less likely to be swayed by external noise. You know your purpose. You trust your instincts. You know that you are walking the path that is right for you, even if others do not fully understand it. Another danger of oversharing is that you may expose your weaknesses or vulnerabilities to the wrong people. Not everyone who asks how you're doing truly wants to hear the truth. Many people are not capable of holding the depth of your emotions, your struggles, or your inner turmoil. They may respond with judgment, dismissiveness, or advice that does not serve you. And when you are in a vulnerable space, this kind of response can be damaging to your spirit. There is a time to seek counsel and a time to protect your inner world. Not everyone needs to know what you are going through at every moment. Some things are meant to be handled in private, processed in silence, and healed in solitude. There's a profound strength that comes from facing challenges quietly, from enduring hardships without broadcasting your pain. This strength comes from the belief that your struggles do not define you. They are a part of your process, but they are not the whole story. Your journey is about more than the difficulties you face. It is about the growth, the transformation, and the purpose that is emerging from within. When you share your struggles too freely, you risk allowing others to see you only in your moments of weakness, not realizing that these moments are just stepping stones on the way to something greater. The world doesn't need to see you struggle, it needs to see you rise. There is a beauty in knowing when to speak and when to be silent. There is power in taking your time, in allowing your vision to unfold in its own time. You don't need to rush to reveal everything, and you don't need to explain yourself to others. Your life is not for their entertainment or judgment. It is for you to live fully, authentically, and in alignment with your purpose. Protect that process. Protect your vision. Don't let anyone dilute the power of your journey by exposing it too soon or to the wrong people. Sometimes it's not about doing more or speaking more. It's about doing the work in silence and letting the results speak for themselves. Your life is a masterpiece in progress, and it will be revealed in its own time. There is no need to rush. There is no need to apologize for keeping certain things private. Your dreams are not for everyone, and your struggles are not for public display. When the time is right, you will share your story, but only with those who have earned the privilege of witnessing it. Until then, let your actions speak louder than your words, and let your life unfold quietly and powerfully. Keep moving forward with faith, with conviction, and with the assurance that you are walking the path that was meant for you. And as you do, trust that the right people will be drawn to your journey when the time is right, and they will recognize the beauty and the power of what you are creating. Until then, you are enough. You are doing enough. And your journey is unfolding just as it was always meant to. There's something profoundly humbling about the realization that not everything in your life needs to be shared. In a world that thrives on visibility and constant updates, where we are often encouraged to let others into every nook and cranny of our experience, the idea of keeping things to ourselves might feel strange even counterintuitive. But there is strength, power, and peace in maintaining the sacredness of your journey. Not everything needs to be seen by the world, and not every struggle needs to be aired for public consumption. There is a time for silence, a time for stillness, and a time for walking your path without the pressure of external commentary or the weight of others' expectations. The moment you understand that the essence of your life is yours to protect, you begin to tap into a deeper well of power. The noise of the world, the incessant chatter, the comments, opinions, and feedback from people who barely know your heart can be a distraction at best and a hindrance at worst. They can pull you off course, questioning your steps, making you doubt your direction, or even steering you toward paths you never intended to take. The more you share, the more you risk exposing yourself to judgment from those who don't understand the weight of your choices. Not everyone has the ability or wisdom to understand the intricacies of your decisions or the long-term impact of your actions. And when you expose your inner world to them too soon, you give away your power, sometimes without even realizing it. There's a truth about personal growth that many don't realize. Growth is often quiet. It's internal. It's a process that unfolds over time in the shadows before it can ever be seen by the world. And this growth deserves to be respected. The seeds of your potential are fragile in their early stages. They need to be nurtured, protected, and given time to take root. There is a purpose in guarding what is sacred to you, in keeping your dreams and your plans close to your chest until they are fully formed and ready to be shared with the world. It's in those quiet, solitary moments of development that your vision grows stronger and your resolve becomes unshakable. You might feel the urge to tell others what you're going through, to let them know how hard things are, how challenging your journey is, or how close you are to reaching the breakthrough you've been working toward. But think about what sharing that information does. What does it truly achieve? Most of the time, it either invites unsolicited advice from those who don't understand your full picture, or it opens the door for pity, sympathy, and judgment. It's easy to seek comfort in those moments, to want others to see how hard you're working, how much you're struggling. But in doing so, you risk losing the sacredness of your own process. Not every victory and not every defeat is meant for public consumption. Some of your most significant moments of growth happen when no one is watching. The breakthroughs happen in the stillness, the perseverance in silence, when no one is clapping or cheering you on. There's also a danger in oversharing your struggles. In an age where vulnerability is celebrated, it's easy to slip into the habit of sharing every hardship, every challenge, as though it's a badge of honor. But the truth is, not every battle needs to be fought in front of others. Some things, some moments are for you to work through privately. You don't need to explain every hurdle you face. You don't need others to see your pain to validate it. When you expose your vulnerabilities too openly, you risk being seen only in your moment of struggle, rather than in your full strength and potential. The real strength comes from how you rise after each fall, how you persist when no one is watching. That strength is what will carry you forward, not the applause or sympathy of others. What happens when you constantly share your journey is that you can begin to measure your progress by the reactions you receive. You may find yourself looking to others for approval or affirmation rather than trusting in your own instincts. You might start to question yourself when people don't respond the way you expect, or when they offer advice that contradicts your inner guidance. The more you seek approval from outside sources, the less confident you become in your own ability to navigate your life. You are no longer listening to the voice that matters most, the one inside you. The truth is, you know your path better than anyone else. No one else can see what you see, feel what you feel, or know what you know at the deepest level. Only you have the clarity to discern what is best for your life, and you must trust that. The moment you begin to lean too heavily on the advice of others, you begin to lose sight of your own direction. You risk being swept away by the tide of other people's expectations and beliefs. The danger of oversharing is that you let others shape your vision. People will only see you as far as their own experiences allow. They will project their own fears, doubts, and insecurities onto you, advising you based on their limitations. If they've never taken risks, if they've never stepped outside the norm, they may try to convince you that you're being foolish, that your dream is unrealistic. And if you are not grounded in your own vision, these voices can cause you to second guess yourself, to question your ability, and to doubt the very purpose that is driving you. In those moments, you need to remind yourself that your journey is unique to you. It's not meant to fit into someone else's idea of what is possible or practical. It's yours to live, yours to navigate, and yours to unfold. And sometimes that means keeping your plans to yourself, shielding them from the world until they're ready to be shared. When the time is right, when the results are clear, and when the purpose is undeniable. Consider the power of an artist working in solitude, an inventor laboring in silence, a leader making decisions behind closed doors. These people understand that their work is not for public consumption until it's ready to be shared. They understand that the process is sacred, that it requires space and time to evolve. There's no need to rush the process, no need to reveal the work before it's ready to stand on its own. They trust that when the time is right, the world will see what they have created and will understand the value of it. Your life is no different. Your work, your vision, and your dreams deserve that same respect. They are not ready to be shared with everyone at every moment. They need time to develop, time to be nurtured, and time to become something that is truly yours. The world will ask you to explain yourself. It will want to know why you're making certain choices, why you're going down a particular path, why you're taking risks. People will want to know all the details of your life, your plans, your thoughts, your struggles. And there's nothing wrong with sharing parts of yourself with those you trust. But there's wisdom in knowing what to keep for yourself. Not everything needs to be explained, and not everyone needs to understand your journey. The reality is that you will often have to walk your path in isolation, at least for a time. You will need to trust that the right people will come along when the time is right, and until then you must remain focused on your vision. You must remain committed to your purpose, even when others question it or doubt it. There's a level of confidence that comes from knowing when to share and when to remain silent. The more you learn to listen to your inner voice, the more clearly you can discern when to speak and when to keep things private. Silence is not weakness, it's strength. Silence is the space where your inner power grows, where your vision takes shape, and where your purpose becomes clearer. It is in those quiet moments that you connect with the divine, with your deeper self, and with the wisdom that lies within you. When you stop constantly sharing your journey, you give yourself the room to grow without the influence of others' opinions. In your life, there are seasons for everything. There are seasons for speaking and seasons for silence. There are seasons for sharing and seasons for solitude. And when you understand this, you free yourself from the pressure to explain, to justify, or to seek validation. You can walk in your truth, knowing that you don't have to share every detail with the world. Not everything needs to be explained, and not everyone deserves to know everything about you. You don't have to give them that access. Your life is your own, and you have the right to protect it. When the time comes for you to share your story, to share your work, your dreams, your victories, it will be powerful. People will see it, and they will understand it, not because you told them about it ahead of time, but because they will witness the fruit of your labor. And that is more powerful than any explanation you could offer. Trust that when your vision is ready to be shared, it will stand on its own. It will speak for itself, and you won't need to justify it. It will be a testament to the time, the energy, and the focus you put into it. Until then, keep moving forward in silence, trusting the process and protecting the sacredness of your journey. Your purpose is unfolding, and when it's time for the world to see it, they will recognize it for the treasure it is. In conclusion, remember this truth: your life, your dreams, and your journey are sacred. You do not owe the world a detailed explanation of every step you take, every struggle you face, or every victory you claim. The greatest power you possess is not in the external validation you seek, but in the quiet conviction with which you move forward, grounded in the certainty that your purpose is unfolding in divine timing. There will be times when the world will ask you to reveal more, to share more, to explain your every decision. But you must resist the urge to overshare, to expose your vulnerabilities to those who cannot hold them with the care and respect they deserve. Not everyone is worthy of your most precious dreams, your deepest struggles, or your unspoken fears. Protect what is sacred within you. Guard your vision fiercely. Trust the process and trust yourself. When the time is right, when your dreams have taken root, when your purpose is clear, the world will recognize the fruit of your labor. But until then, move in silence, work diligently, and let your actions speak louder than your words. Your life is not for public consumption. It is for you to live fully, authentically, and with unwavering commitment. Let your journey be a reflection of your inner strength, your quiet resilience, and your unshakable belief in the greatness that lies within you. You are enough. Your purpose is enough. And your silence is not a weakness. It is the space where your dreams are being cultivated, nurtured, and prepared for their moment of revelation. Keep walking forward, undistracted, undeterred, and unafraid. The world will see the power of your vision when it is ready. And until then, you are building something that no one else can fully understand but you. Stay focused, stay true, and trust the power of your own unfolding.